The chill night air bites, sharp and unforgiving, as a hooded figure crouches on the castle's highest roof. Below, a kingdom slumbers, its lights extinguishing one by one, signaling the moment to move, to descend, to claim a life. But as the hunter prepares to leap, a presence registers a subtle shift in the wind, a stillness too profound. Turning, he finds not a guard nor a rival, but a boy. A boy standing on a distant tower, his dark hair stark against the moonlit sky, watching. An immediate, unsettling recognition washes over the hooded man. This isn't just any assassin, this is the Whisper made flesh, the silent legend known for impossible skill. Escape is no longer an option. The rooftop becomes a battleground. The hooded man lunges, releasing a flurry of sharpened metal spikes, a desperate attempt to create distance, to gain an edge. But the boy is a blur, a phantom, evading the assault with effortless grace before closing the distance. A dagger flashes, a single deadly thrust aimed to end it all. Yet in the blink of an eye, it's blocked, deflected by an equally swift dagger. They move across the rooftop, a dance of steel and shadow. Then, with exquisite expertise, the boy disarms his opponent. The fallen assassin, undeterred, unleashes another volley of spikes. The boy dodges again, but this time, the movement creates an opening, a fleeting moment for the hooded man to strike. It's a calculated gamble, but one the boy had already foreseen. He slips past the lunge, reappearing behind his foe. Desperation begins to set in. The sheer disparity in power is stark, and the hooded hitman throws everything he possesses, every slash, every strike, even a hidden shoe blade. Still, the boy remains a picture of calm, deflecting each assault. With his arsenal depleted, the hitman is left defenseless. The assassin makes his move, a swift stab to the arm, followed by the deliberate breaking of legs. The fallen man, grounded, can only stare in disbelief at the almost casual execution of his defeat. A sword descends from the sky, ending his pain forever. With his only competition eliminated, the assassin enters the target's chamber. The occupant sleeps, utterly unaware of the danger that now stands over him. A quiet resolve hardens the assassin's gaze. The dagger rises, poised to strike, completing the mission. It's a stark contrast to the life this deadly operative once knew. Not long ago, he was simply Akira, a lonely teenager from Japan, lost in the pages of manga on his phone, largely unnoticed by his high school classmates. Then reality fractured. A sudden tear in their world, and Akira, along with his entire class, found themselves transported to an unfamiliar court. Confusion reigned, a dream, a prank. An ancient mage emerged through a newly formed portal, announcing the royal majesty's desire for an audience. Bewilderment rippled through the students. Some clung to the idea of a costume party, but that illusion shattered with the entrance of the king and princess. They were welcomed not to a jest, but to a new world, summoned by a profound magic ritual. The king wasted no time. He laid bare the kingdom's plight. The largest human realm was under threat from demons, and only a hero from another world possessed the power to defeat the demon lord, averting total destruction. The mage then stepped forward, explaining the need to identify this hero. All were instructed to place their hands upon a magic crystal, one by one. An eager student went first, revealing his status as a mere animal trainer, a touch disappointed but assured that his stats far surpassed ordinary individuals. As the students stepped forward, their destinies unfolded. Mages, knights, healers, each gaining their initial class and statistics. Akira, observing this, noticed a stark anomaly. While most began with baseline stats of 180, his own were 10 times that, totaling 1,800. Then came the boy named Soto. He approached the crystal, his status revealed as the hero with a starting power of 1,000. The mage congratulated him, explaining that while normal stats were capped at 500, a hero's were double that. This revelation only amplified the mystery surrounding Akira's stats, nearly twice that of the designated hero. The class cheered for Soto, the popular consensus favorite. Then a classmate, nudging Akira forward, urged him to reveal his own numbers. Akira paused, contemplating the precarious situation. In this world, utterly unknown, he saw no wisdom in broadcasting such an abnormal anomaly. More information was needed. With everyone's potential assessed and the hero identified, the mage announced that weapons and equipment would be distributed according to class before the students retired for the night. Returning to his assigned room, Akira detected something amiss: a hidden camera. This observation confirmed his suspicion. They were being monitored. His ability of concealed presence offered a means to slip past their watch. Once inside his room, he changed his attire, stepping out onto the balcony to absorb the staggering reality he was truly in another world. A decision formed: gather information, and swiftly. With a few silent leaps, he scaled the castle walls, reaching the king's private work chamber without breaking a sweat. He found the king speaking with the princess. "Is everything proceeding according to plan?" the king inquired. "The children from the other world," the princess replied, "seem utterly oblivious. They possess little magical aptitude to pose any significant threat." The king instructed her to keep a watchful eye before returning to his work. Akira, cloaked by his skill, stood beside the king, the thought of ending his life flickering, then dismissed. The next morning, Akira joined his classmates at breakfast, who seemed entirely untroubled. Sodo, ever the gregarious leader, stood to deliver a somewhat awkward speech about their newfound strength, urging everyone to focus on assisting this world and confronting the demon lord, as the king had commanded. A chorus of agreement, perhaps a little too enthusiastic, echoed through the room. Akira, meanwhile, wrestled with the dilemma of revealing what he had uncovered, knowing these students were dangerously naive about the king and princess's true intentions. After breakfast, they were assembled in the training grounds. Lord Commander Saren, the head of the royal army, introduced himself, explaining that as newcomers, they would undergo training for a month before venturing into a dungeon to test their skills. Sodo immediately rallied the group, pledging their best efforts, while Akira, from a distance, observed the proceedings with his usual silent detachment. He decided to pursue his own path for more information, but to his surprise, Saren followed him, handing the class over to his lieutenant, Gil. Akira wondered if his conceal presence ability had a duration limit, but Saren merely smiled. "You don't need to worry," he said, his gaze steady. "Your abilities are functioning perfectly." He revealed his own unique gift, mystical eyesight, which allowed him to perceive temperature differentials effectively, a living thermal camera. Akira tensed, his hand instinctively going to his blade, sensing potential trouble. Saren, however, calmed him, assuring him he had no intention of betraying him to the king or princess. Still skeptical, Akira pressed him. "Whose side are you truly on?" Saren replied, his tone measured. "It's far more complicated than it can be easily explained." Sensing a sincerity in Saren's words, Akira lowered his guard, stating his desire to visit the library for much-needed information. When Saren asked about his concealed skills level, Akira revealed it was already maxed out, an extraordinary feat, but confessed that his other abilities remained at level 1, with no clear path for improvement. Saren smiled, offering his assistance, suggesting the library wouldn't provide what Akira truly sought. Akira weighed the offer, the allure of growing stronger undeniable, yet he controlled his emotions. "How does one return home?" he asked. Saren confessed ignorance on that point, but emphasized the need for Akira to become as strong as possible, suggesting survival was the key to finding a way back. Akira, disliking unearned aid, proposed a trade. "To repay you," Saren suggested, "you can tell me about your world." This proposal sealed the deal. Akira extended his hand, shaking Saren's, the first person in this new world he chose to trust. Soon, he began learning about the world's diverse races, the beast people, the elves, each with their own continents. He continued training his physical and mental faculties, convinced that rigorous practice was the sole path to skill progression. Meanwhile, his classmates trained separately under Gil's tutelage. One evening, Akira met with Saren, having discovered a book he was certain was authored by the Lord Commander. Saren retrieved it, a knowing smile on his face. It was indeed a plan to overthrow the king, cleverly disguised as a cookbook. Saren explained that the king was irrevocably broken, poised to make a drastic, world-altering move, a catastrophe Saren felt compelled to prevent, despite his sacred duty as commander of the Royal Knights to protect the king. Akira understood the conflict, revealing he'd had the opportunity to kill the king the very night they arrived, but couldn't bring himself to act. Saren responded warmly, affirming Akira's decision, noting that being an assassin didn't mandate murder. Finally, a month passed. The newly designated heroes stood ready to enter the dungeons, met by the cheers and applause of nearly the entire city. In the distance, however, Akira noticed a hooded girl glaring at them. Using his skills, he appeared behind her, catching her off guard. "Why do you stare at us with such rage?" he asked. The blue-haired girl replied that while the city hailed them as heroes, she knew the true cost of their summoning. Akira admitted his ignorance of any sacrifice. Like an NPC, she simply told him to figure it out and moved away. They entered the dungeon, monsters emerging from every corner, each stone a potential trapdoor revealing more creatures. The students, visibly weary, struggled. Akira warded off attackers until Saren asked if they should return. Saren confirmed they had done enough, then used his divine skill to carve a path forward. Gil instructed them to run towards the exit, but they found themselves still underground, blocked by a horde of monsters. Suddenly, Soto, the cringe lord, remembered a smoke bomb gifted by the princess, confident it would repel the monsters. He threw it, but from the dissipating smoke emerged Gil, aghast. A minotaur stood on the upper floor, a creature that should have been far below. Akira reacted instantly, dodging a blow and leaping onto the minotaur's head, aiming for its skull. To his shock, his dagger shattered into pieces, forcing him back. Soto remained on the ground, too weak to lift his sword. Akira urged him to stay back, reminding him that he was the hero destined to defeat the demon lord. Commander Saren arrived, recognizing the gravity of the situation. Akira suggested Saren use his special ability, leaving the rest to him. Saren, though wary of the danger, saw the resolve in Akira's eyes and cast the spell. A massive lightning bolt struck the minotaur. As it reeled, Akira positioned himself behind it, activating his shadow magic, sending spikes of pure darkness toward the behemoth. The minotaur struggled against Saren's lightning, but soon broke free, focusing on Akira, unaware of the spell already cast. As the massive axe swung down, Akira's hand was pierced by dark spikes. He impaled the monster's body with more, ensuring it couldn't break free, then began pulling it down into a dark abyss opening beneath its feet. The minotaur vanished, swallowed whole, the spikes tearing its head free just before it disappeared completely. Silence fell upon the onlookers, stunned by Akira's effortless defeat of such a formidable foe. Then, his powers flared uncontrollably. Panic erupted as Akira tried to retract the shadow spikes. Fortunately, Saren stepped forward, guiding him, helping him regain control and deactivate his shadow magic. Akira felt incredibly fortunate to be alive. Saren remarked that Akira had exceeded his expectations. Upon their return, Saren thanked him for saving everyone, but Akira felt he didn't deserve all the credit. He acknowledged that without Saren's backing, he couldn't have defeated the Minotaur, especially since he hadn't mastered shadow magic even in training. Saren expressed surprise, mentioning this was the first he'd heard of an extra skill called shadow magic, agreeing Akira had barely controlled it. He cautioned Akira to be careful next time, and then presented him with a samurai sword, forged by the first hero himself. Akira took the sword, asking why it wasn't given to the current hero. Saren explained Soto already possessed the holy sword, but the bigger reason was that Saren had borrowed it from the royal treasury, and giving it to Soto would have led to his immediate arrest. Akira gladly accepted. He noticed inscriptions near the hilt, Yato no Kami, and then the first hero's wish, "May my sword guide my successor in times of trouble." Akira mused he would have liked to meet the first hero. Speaking of heroes, Akira remembered the curse cast on Soto, a curse the enchanter couldn't break. Something felt amiss. Saren shared a theory. The princess was behind the curse, attempting to turn Soto into her puppet through dark magic. By chance, Akira arrived just then, destroying the magic crystal she was using. The princess, enraged, demanded how he dared enter her chambers uninvited. Akira, sword drawn, simply stated that a witch who cursed others was no woman. He questioned her motives. The princess repeated her earlier statement, her eyes vacant, a chilling echo of obedience. Akira realized she was a puppet and left. Yet the princess possessed more crystals, intending to curse the remaining students. Meanwhile, Akira brought the crystal to Saren, confirming his suspicions about the princess and Soto. Saren noted she hadn't abandoned her wicked ways. He asked if Akira had shown himself to the princess. Akira affirmed, explaining he'd wanted a proper conversation, but she proved uncommunicative. Saren revealed the princess was merely a puppet for the king, advising Akira not to stay in the palace that night. Curious, Akira asked why. Saren explained the princess could curse anyone, but not him, as he had never revealed his status to her. This meant she would likely try to kill him instead. Saren wanted him away from the palace. Akira asked if he wouldn't be scolded for his carelessness. Saren chuckled, stating teenagers are meant to be impulsive, and it was adults' duty to cover for them. The next morning, a commotion drew Akira to the palace, where a large crowd had gathered. Soto was free from the curse. The question was, what was happening? Soto replied that Saren was dead. Akira struggled to comprehend. He pushed through the crowd to see Saren's body, a dagger through his heart. Devastated at the loss of his only friend, Akira's classmates turned on him, believing him the killer. They pointed to the dagger, claiming it was his. Akira countered that his dagger had shattered against the Minotaur. Yet no one listened, accusing him of being shady and untrustworthy since their arrival. Akira wondered if they, too, were cursed, a suspicion confirmed by their unwavering blame. Only Soto stepped forward, advocating for a thorough investigation. But the king declared Akira would be executed for assassinating their beloved commander, ordering his guards to seize him. Akira, however, used his skill to vanish, slipping away unharmed. As the king's troops scoured the palace, Akira sought out Gil. The vice commander revealed the elite assassination unit had killed Saren under the king's direct orders, and they were now after Akira. Saren, anticipating this, had prepared travel supplies in his room. Gil urged Akira to take them and flee. Akira thanked him, rushing to Saren's room, but in his haste, forgot a smaller pouch. That night, the king spoke with satisfaction about Saren's swift demise, noting the absence of opposition. The princess confirmed the brainwashing of all students except the hero was complete, now merely requiring a pretext to launch a war against neighboring kingdoms. The king, pleased, instructed her to dispatch assassins after Akira, ensuring he wouldn't survive long enough to become a threat. Meanwhile, Akira hid within the dungeon, a place Saren had once recommended as the best refuge from pursuers, despite its lack of clean water. It was also an ideal location to level up and hone one's skills, though few dared venture deep due to the dangers. Saren had warned that even Akira's presence concealment wouldn't shield him from monsters with incredibly keen senses. However, by leveling up sufficiently, he could mask his scent and even body temperature, fooling most. Following this advice, Akira descended deeper, battling formidable monsters like flame hounds that exploded upon death. He recalled Saren mentioning a special skill bestowed upon reaching level 100, a power that significantly amplified strength. Defeating dungeon bosses offered the quickest experience, but each battle was a life or death struggle, inescapable once initiated. Akira resolved to grow strong at any cost. After dispatching the flame hounds, he entered the boss room. A gigantic demon lion awaited. It immediately attacked, but Akira dodged every blow, oblivious to the snake-like tail capable of spitting venom. He was caught off guard, struck by venom, then impaled by the lion's claw. Lucky to be alive, he refused to yield. As the lion flung him away, Akira unleashed his shadow magic. Dark spikes pierced the monster, tearing it to shreds, yet he lost control, passing out. Then a male voice echoed from within him. Master has taken too much damage. Shadow magic will be activated forcefully. The shadows coalesced, initiating healing mode, drawing upon stored mana. Back in the palace, Soto urged his classmates to confront the demon lord. Most demurred, citing the recent death of the knight commander. Soto insisted on urgency, but many, still under the curse, deemed it futile. He declared he would go alone, but fortunately a few students chose to accompany him. Soto couldn't fathom why they would follow him, still cursed, but they expressed confidence in having overcome it. The enchanter confirmed she could differentiate between cursed and normal individuals, assuring him all present were free from the spell. The tall swordsman, Asahi, claimed credit, vaguely recalling cutting strange crystals in an unknown room, finding a samurai sword, and subsequently a few students being freed from the curse. It turned out to be Gil's doing. His skill, suggestion, proved more potent than any curse for directing targets toward a simple action. He was relieved to have saved at least a few students, fulfilling Saren's last order, and wished them luck. Asahi, meanwhile, believed they needed to team up with Akira immediately. His intuition told him Akira was rapidly surpassing everyone else. and they needed him. Some agreed, others still held him responsible for Commander Saren's death. A small argument began, but the girls intervened, deferring to Soto as leader. Soto agreed Akira was stronger, but doubted their ability to work together, noting Akira's solitary nature and his lack of recognition even from kindergarten classmates. Everyone was shocked. Asahi conceded Akira wasn't a team player. Soto recalled legends stating only the hero's holy sword could defeat the demon lord. He needed to become strong enough for that role, believing Akira wouldn't cooperate with a weak team. Thus, they would wait for him in this country while honing their own strength. Meanwhile, Emilia recounted her past to Akira and Knight. Exiled by her sister, pursued by men intent on her death, she'd been cornered near a cliff. She used her gravity magic to fall into a river, carried to safety. Wounded and exhausted, a black slime took advantage of her weakness, swallowing her whole. The next thing she knew, she was in the dungeon, rescued by Akira. Akira listened, but Knight found inconsistencies. Slimes didn't consume people, and if they had, she'd have been digested. Emilia couldn't explain it either, but was grateful the slime had led her to Akira. Akira advised her to return and reconcile with her sister. Emilia had given up, feeling unable to confront her. Akira countered that family matters would resolve themselves, mentioning his own sister, whom he cared for deeply despite her cheekiness. Emilia and Knight asked if he wished to return home to his family. Akira affirmed, but with a crucial task first. He spoke of Saren, the man who taught him how to live in this world, his fury building at the thought of his killers. He swore to kill the king and princess. Emilia and Knight shuddered at the killing intent radiating from him. Emilia called his name, snapping him out of his murderous rage. Once calm, they both recognized Saren's name, acknowledging his fame as a knight commander. Akira, sensing the tension, pulled out a glove. Knight, acting on instinct, chased it. Akira was pleased his trick worked on a monster cat as well as strays. Emilia, too, wanted to try. Soon they were all cuddling Knight, enjoying the softness of his fur. Knight cautioned Akira to take their linked souls seriously. If one died, the other would too. Akira knew, but was simply glad to have a familiar. He genuinely liked cats. Emilia confessed her jealousy. Once their playfulness subsided, they decided to leave the dungeon. Akira asked Knight where the teleportation magic circle would lead. The cat had no idea. Only a few demons knew the art of creating them, Akira decided, and he would find them to his service once he reached the demon continent. Suddenly, Emilia recalled a tale of pale blue magic circles that transported people to their desired destinations, reacting only to one person's wish if multiple entered. Akira foresaw potential problems. Emilia assured him she would go anywhere as long as it was with him. He pondered her words, stepping into the circle, wondering if it could lead him home, but pushed the thought aside. Vengeance came first. The circle activated, teleporting them to a forest where a gigantic tree stood. Emilia gasped. Knight recognized it as the World Tree, identifying their location as the Elven Forest. Akira found it a fitting place to be. Suddenly, an elf hidden in the tree shot an arrow at Emilia. Akira reacted instantly, pulling her from its path. He charged the archer, deflecting the arrow with his dagger, then swiftly flanking him. He brought the archer down. Emilia identified him as Liam, who, surprised to find the traitor investigating the light, urged her to flee for her life. Akira knocked him out, uninterested in his chatter, but realized too late, elves had already surrounded them. Emilia's sister, Kilika, led them, her gaze cold. "You are going to die now that you've returned to the country willingly," she declared. Emilia recalled a past where life was perfect. Crowned princess of the elves, watching over her younger sister, Kilika, her pride and joy, alongside her fiancé, Liam. But that idyll shattered when Liam abruptly canceled their engagement. Emilia's father had arranged the marriage. Kilika then revealed Liam's reason. Emilia was the child of Blight. This was merely the beginning. Kilika soon led soldiers in hunting her. Branded a criminal, Emilia somehow survived, eventually meeting Akira. Now facing her sister, she felt nervous, pleading for Kilika not to attack, promising to leave the country immediately. But Kilika had no intention of letting her go. She continued to curse Emilia until Akira intervened, telling her to shut her stupid mouth. Kilika demanded who he was and why he aided a criminal. Akira, the friendly neighborhood assassin who had befriended her sister, asked what Emilia had done. Kilika revealed her arm, damaged by poison, claiming Amelia had given her poison disguised as a healing potion her crime. The onlookers cursed Amelia, who muttered she had indeed given a healing potion. Kilika demanded if Amelia accused her of self-harm to frame her. Amelia fell silent. Kilika approached Akira, thanking him for returning a wanted criminal. As she drew near, she used her special ability to mesmerize him. Amelia's warning came too late. Kilika's spell was complete. Confident Akira was now ensnared, she left Amelia helpless. Amelia suddenly snapped, demanding Kilika undo her spell and apologize to Akira, asserting only he had the right to decide his fate. Kilika was taken aback, never having seen Amelia fight back. Akira then told them both to calm down, revealing the mesmerize skill had no effect on him. Amelia rejoiced. Kilika was shocked. Knight added that mind control spells failed against those far superior in level, like Kilika and Akira. The elven princess refused to believe anyone surpassed her. Akira stated he would concede weakness only after she admitted poisoning herself to frame Amelia. Enraged, Kilika ordered the soldiers to kill Akira, who prepared to unleash shadow magic. Luckily, the king arrived, commanding the soldiers to lower their weapons. Kilika was shocked. He was supposed to be on a long business trip. The Elf King demanded an explanation. A soldier claimed Amelia had poisoned Kilika, but the king silenced him, asking his daughter for the truth. Kilika remained silent, her controlled soldiers stating she had done nothing wrong. The king realized she had mesmerized them, ordering her to undo the spell. She refused. Her father playfully threatened punishment later. He then turned to Akira, apologizing for Kilika's actions, and ordered Akira to leave immediately, as outsiders were not permitted in the Elven Kingdom. Amelia protested, stating Akira had saved her and helped her return. The king dismissed it, telling Amelia to stop thinking she was free to do as she pleased. She was the future ruler and would stay. Amelia, intimidated, received support from Akira, who declared no one else had the right to dictate her life choices, and he would fight anyone who tried to infringe upon them. Just then, Liam regained his senses. Learning Akira had knocked out one of their finest warriors, he challenged Akira to a duel with Amelia's rights at stake, nominating Kilika as his representative. Akira accepted, following the king to the World Tree for the duel. Amelia apologized for dragging him into this, but he replied he had chosen it himself. He asked about the Child of Blight business. Amelia explained it referred to one twin not resembling their parents, destined to bring misfortune. Akira was surprised they were twins. Knight was more intrigued by the Child of Blight story, considered a myth for years. Amelia confirmed it, admitting many still used the term for her due to her dissimilarity to her parents. They reached the World Tree. Akira chose not to conceal his presence, desiring a fair victory. Amelia cautioned him. Kilika was the most skilled elven swordswoman. Akira remarked on her high regard for her cunning sister, despite everything. Amelia recalled the effort Kilika put into her training. As the duel began, Akira didn't draw his sword. Kilika urged him to do so. He replied he didn't want to accidentally kill her. Kilika, confident of victory and regaining her father's trust, charged. Akira paid her no mind, instead thanking Amelia for her earlier anger on his behalf, causing her to blush. The king signaled the start. Kilika attacked instantly, her sword swings precise, but Akira was faster, easily dodging. He acknowledged her strength and speed for an elf, yet insufficient to match his skill. He slipped past, pushing her away. Kilika, however, had an ace. She enchanted her sword with wind magic, unleashing a powerful gust. Akira dodged, but Kilika pressed her advantage. He found an opening, kicking her off balance. By the time she stood, he was behind her. Akira told her to give up, urging her to reconcile with Amelia, who still cared for her. Kilika refused, vowing never to forgive her sister who took everything. She launched another powerful attack, pushing Akira back. He deflected the wind spell, hitting elven soldiers instead. Akira ordered Knight to protect Amelia from the reckless attacks. Knight transformed into his larger form, shielding them. Kilika cried out that she had nothing left, that her sister had taken it all. She remembered their childhood closeness, but after it was discovered, Amelia was a spirit medium capable of bending the world to her will. Everyone treated Kilika differently. They stopped paying attention to her, which snapped something within. Now she wanted everything back from Amelia, who watched her with worry. Liam arrived with a wrapped item, asking Amelia to save Kilika with it. It was a branch of the holy tree. Using its power, Amelia freed everyone from Kilika's mesmerization. Seeing her control lost, Kilika unleashed her full power on Akira. He realized dodging would expose Amelia to the attack. He countered with shadow magic, but realized its destructive potential, fearing it would devour Kilika. In a critical moment, he pulled the shadow magic back toward himself. As shadows enveloped him, he braced for damage, but a dark aura instead covered his body. Unsure, he charged, clashing with Kilika, knocking her out. Kilika, devastated, lost everything. Akira told her to stop crying, that she was blind to those who truly paid her attention. Amelia and Liam arrived. Kilika, surprised Liam was free, questioned how her mesmerized skill wore off on him first. Amelia corrected her. Liam had never been under her spell. Kilika refused to believe, asking how they would punish her. Her father stated he deserved punishment. Kilika, confused, had her memories restored, recalling her strenuous training, her father's limited permission to Dungeon Floor 3, her insecurity. A shady woman offered a magic item to quickly grow stronger, summoning powerful orcs. Kilika couldn't win, fleeing, but the orcs followed. Worried for her people, she confronted them. Just as she was about to lose, Liam rushed to help with soldiers. A goblin jumped out, piercing Liam's chest as the woman laughed, her plan successful. Kilika was devastated. The king used magic to erase her memory. Amelia saved the day by creating a revival magic. Afterward, everyone avoided Kilika to protect the truth. She believed they didn't care because Amelia was a spirit medium. The king confessed he wanted Kilika to win the duel against Akira, proving her worth, preparing her for the shock of memory restoration. Her loss forced his hand. Liam knelt, apologizing for pretending to be mesmerized to exile Amelia. Kilika couldn't comprehend. The king revealed a world tree leaf in Liam during his revival made him immune to negative effects. Liam apologized for the hurt caused. Kilika realized her wrongdoing, blaming Amelia for problems she herself caused. She wept, cursing herself. Amelia reassured her, calling her amazing. The sisters embraced emotionally. Soldiers tended Kilika's wounds, shocked they cared. That night, the king hosted a welcome party for Akira, agreeing to let Amelia decide her future. She chose to go wherever Akira went. He revealed they were heading to the Beastmen continent next, as Knight deemed it best for his journey. After the party, Amelia called Akira aside, asking him to say her name. He complied, pleasing her. She promised never to be apart. Knight cringed at their childish display. Meanwhile, Sodo and his party were aboard a ship. Sodo apologized to Asahi for not waiting for Akira, but Asahi understood. They needed to grow stronger. They were heading to the Beastmen continent for training and better weapons. Soon, Akira and Amelia prepared to leave the Elf Kingdom, a crowd seeing them off. Amelia and Kilika had reconciled. Liam and Akira exchanged parting words. The king offered soldiers for escort to the border due to recent kidnappings. Amelia clung to Akira, confident in his strength, but the king remained worried for his daughter. Kilika offered to protect Amelia instead, Liam volunteering to join. The soldiers also offered, but Akira refused, not wanting any burden. Amelia and Akira rode in a carriage towards the border, soldiers on watch. Akira asked Knight why he was so silent before the Elf King. Knight replied most disliked monsters, and he remained quiet to avoid trouble for Akira. Akira asked if such docility wouldn't attract the Demon Lord's attention. Knight affirmed his senses were still linked, able to see and hear everything, but the Demon Lord didn't control his loyalty. He would never betray Akira. Akira asked about a potential fight with the Demon Lord. Knight deferred, saying the Demon Lord merely wished to see Akira. Amelia suggested the Demon Lord might want friendship. Knight agreed, praising Akira's coolness piqued the Demon Lord's interest. Only Akira, he noted, could wield shadow magic. Akira downplayed it, then his danger detection activated. He ordered the carriage stopped, exiting to find kidnappers holding a hostage. They threatened the girl if Akira's group moved, handing them a rope. One bandit recognized Amelia, anticipating his boss's delight at capturing the elf princess. While the bandits were distracted, Akira used his skill to conceal himself, knocking them out before they could react. Returning to normal, he found them on the ground, ordering soldiers to tie them up. Amelia freed the hostage. Akira interrogated the bandits about their boss, Graham. A soldier identified Graham as a royal in Urak, the largest beast folk nation. Akira ordered the bandits return to the capital, intending to continue alone. Soldiers insisted on escorting him to the port, but Akira convinced them otherwise. Reaching the port, they boarded a ship. Akira told his friends they would acquire better weapons and level up upon reaching the Beast Folk continent. Amelia expressed surprise he still sought greater strength. Akira replied he would leave no stone unturned in avenging Commander Saren. Knight mentioned a dungeon in the port town, ideal for leveling, but the journey would take days. They should relax. As the ship sailed, Amelia excitedly proposed recreating Titanic scenes, but Akira, a Sigma male, ignored her, reading a book gifted by the king. Amelia cursed her father for providing a distraction. He remained engrossed in his book. They reached the Beast Folk continent's port town. Akira observed humans doing all the labor. 3 thugs cornered him, telling him to abandon the elf girl and run. Their attitude revealed the beastmen's discrimination against humans. Akira approached them, underestimated but used shadow magic to blind them, then walked toward the city. People seemed terrified of Knight. Amelia asked if he knew why. Knight replied that the continent's inhabitants had good reason to fear black cats. Later, Akira and Amelia booked a hotel room, enjoying a meal. Akira decided to sleep. Amelia suggested 1 bed was sufficient for both. Akira was taken aback by her directness. Knight, playing wingman, announced a midnight stroll, inviting them to do as they pleased. Akira was puzzled. Amelia happily went to shower. When she returned, Akira had seemingly fallen asleep. She kissed his cheek and slept beside him, but he had merely feigned sleep, unwilling to engage. The next morning, Knight returned just as Akira awoke. Amelia woke moments later. Knight instructed them to dress. A guest was coming. The guest, a goth beast folk blacksmith named Crow, was summoned to help Akira. Crow coldly stated he couldn't refuse a summons from the nightmare of Alderia. Amelia was curious. Akira suspected the meaning. He introduced himself. Crow immediately demanded to see his weapon. Akira presented his chipped sword. Crow identified the dungeon based on the damage patterns. Impressed, Akira asked about repair. Crow agreed for a price and raw materials. Akira accepted, also requesting 20 throwing weapons. Crow deduced Akira was an assassin but doubted his mental readiness for his weapons. Amelia grew angry, but Akira calmed her, admitting Crow was right. Knight agreed, revealing Crow was once part of a hero's party. Surprised, they heard Crow didn't wish to dwell on the past. He handed Akira a list of materials and repair costs. He departed. Knight told Akira Crow, despite his arrogance, was the most skilled blacksmith on the continent. Akira believed him but wondered how to gather the money. Knight suggested the dungeon for money and materials. Amelia, impatient, announced she would speak with Crow. Akira told Knight to accompany her while he gathered information. Amelia followed Crow to his workshop. He asked her purpose coldly. She mentioned the previous hero's party failed to defeat the Demon Lord. Only the hero and beast folk returned. Crow assumed she sought information about the elf party member, but Amelia wanted to learn to fight from him, believing he was strong enough to escape the Demon Lord's castle. Crow refused, stating he took no more disciples. Amelia, surprised, asked if he'd had previous students. He confirmed many, but none endured his training. Amelia vowed not to break or run, wanting to stay with Akira but acknowledging his superior strength. Crow still refused, turning to Knight, stating he only agreed to repair his master's weapons. Knight agreed, telling Crow Amelia wasn't his master. Crow resented being called the Nightmare of Adoria. He explained the name's origin. 100 years ago, Adoria was prosperous. The Demon Lord ordered an attack as retaliation. Crow's monstrous instincts overran him, destroying the city, earning him the name, and making black cats symbols of fear. Akira, overhearing via telepathy, pitied Knight. Knight explained the incident left him mentally shaken, seeing no point in living. Meeting Akira, he moved past his shame, now living for his new master. Crow scoffed but held no grudge. He continued his story. After the Adoria incident, he visited a memorial. Knight was there, offering Crow the chance for revenge. Crow declined, seeing Knight as merely the Demon Lord's tool. He didn't desire revenge on the Demon Lord either. His true enemy was elsewhere. He revealed his sister survived the attack, helping the injured when Graham, a royal, arrived in a hurry to flee. He planned to blow through fallen buildings, disregarding the trapped people. Crow's sister tried to stop him, but he kicked her aside, destroying everything, killing everyone. Enraged, Crow desired revenge against Graham but stopped himself, believing his sister wouldn't want it. Amelia called him a coward, using his sister as an excuse to avoid conflict. Crow, angered, told her to leave. Meanwhile, Akira went to the dungeon, finding entry restricted by rank. He considered using his concealment skill. A monster outbreak occurred. Energy tendrils burst from the dungeon, spewing powerful monsters. The tendrils burned indiscriminately. Amelia, returning from Crow, used gravity magic to suppress them, telling Knight to help civilians. Knight rushed to rescue people. While Amelia controlled the energy, a hooded boy on a monster approached, remarking her magic evoked pleasant memories. Amelia recognized him as the one who tricked Kilika into unleashing orcs. He introduced himself as Aurum, claiming the demon lord ordered him not to kill her due to her unique magic, but to harm her just enough to keep her alive. He played a flute, directing energy tendrils filled with monsters toward her. Amelia was trapped. Akira, fighting monsters, received a telepathic message from Knight. Amelia had been kidnapped by a demon, taken into the dungeon. Akira rushed there, but monsters and blue energy blocked him. He picked up a sword, but the method was too slow. Knight arrived, apologizing for failing to protect Amelia. Akira dismissed it, telling Knight to retreat. Akira unleashed his shadow magic, devouring monsters and energy consumed by rage. Amelia had become too important, evoking intense emotions. He swore to save her. After expending all his shadow magic, he collapsed, unconscious. Knight watched, rushing to his side. A system voice announced Akira had exceeded his mana capacity, healing shadow magic activated automatically. Shadows covered Akira, his body glowing as the magic healed him. Knight watched in awe. A day later, Akira awoke, asking Knight his location. Knight explained he'd brought him to Crow's. Seeing the sunset, Akira asked if he'd been unconscious for 5 hours. Knight corrected him, 1 day and 5 hours, understandable given the mana expenditure. He noted Akira would have died without the automatic shadow magic healing. Akira, unsure of the magic's origin, focused on Amelia's rescue. He went downstairs where Crow waited. Akira thanked him for the bed, asking it be billed. Crow asked his destination. Akira replied he needed to rescue Amelia immediately. Crow cautioned that Amelia might already be taken to the demon continent. Akira declared he'd barge into the demon lord's castle. Crow urged him to calm down. Akira insisted he was calm but hurried. Crow pointed out he'd forgotten his weapons. Akira snapped they were being repaired. Crow revealed he'd broken Akira's sword into 2 short daggers, better for an assassin, and included materials and cost, asking for prompt payment. Akira inspected the daggers, thanking Crow, who tossed him a ring. "Forged by the 2nd or 3rd hero," he explained, inscribed. "I will lead you everywhere." Crow was surprised Akira could read it. It was his world's language. The ring helped the wearer find what they sought. Akira wore it. It emitted a laser pointer toward the dungeon. Crow noted Akira's luck. Demons hadn't yet taken Amelia to the demon realm. Akira equipped himself, rushing to the dungeon on Knight's back. Knight urged him not to be reckless again. Akira agreed, acknowledging the risk to Knight. Knight reassured him, only wanting Akira unharmed. Meanwhile, Amelia, injured and exhausted, remained in the dungeon. The demon Aurum spoke cheerfully, revealing demons could control monsters, but he'd experimented on humans and elves. He sent a centipede, noting elves couldn't be controlled but could be immobilized. Amelia, gathering strength, asked why he kept her there. Aurum, a 3rd-grade demon, couldn't teleport, awaiting his boss. He enjoyed talking, promising honest answers, confident Akira couldn't defeat him even if told everything. He assured Amelia she wouldn't be harmed, needing her in prime condition for the demon lord. Akira searched for Amelia. The ring pointed to the dungeon. He hurried. A hooded wizard appeared, asking him to grant her request. Akira recognized her as a follower. She grabbed his collar, claiming her scent tracker skill led her to Amelia and then to Akira. She wanted to help. Knight confirmed her honesty. Akira dropped her, asking her motive. She introduced herself as Lee, Princess of Urak, having learned the demon lord targeted Amelia. She thought Akira wouldn't trust a stranger without proof, so she stalked him. Akira used his world eye skill, confirming her truthfulness. He asked about her spirit barrier. Lee panicked, then explained her skill, unlike normal barriers, could be applied to moving targets, even people. Akira asked if she could apply it to him. She affirmed, deeming it helpful. She revealed the demon lord sought Amelia's resurrection magic. Akira, startled, mounted Knight, telling Lee to join them. Knight questioned, trusting her. Akira replied they needed her power and had no choice. Emilia learned of the Demon Lord's plan, surprised. She asked Aurum why he desired resurrection magic, given demons, immortality, and toughness. Aurum agreed it seemed pointless, noting its limitations. He knew much about it, but wouldn't elaborate. He predicted Akira's death, Emilia unable to resurrect him due to recent self-use. He anticipated her tears. Akira en route felt he'd seen Lee before. He asked her past. Lee recounted her village's destruction by a modified black slime, suspecting forbidden magic. She was the sole survivor, adopted by the royal family due to her rare skills, becoming a princess. She investigated, finding links to the summoning country. Many humans and beastmen had vanished, used as sacrifices. Her family was among them. She wanted to observe the summoned hero. Akira confessed his own summoning. Lee held no grudge against him, only the king and princess behind it. Akira harbored similar animosity, disbelieving the king's claim of summoning them to fight demons. Knight affirmed Akira's suspicion. Demons hadn't invaded other countries in a century. They were stereotyped as evil. They reached the dungeon. Knight explained each floor required defeating a set number of monsters, a rule by the first Demon Lord. Akira opted for shadow magic to expedite the process. Knight warned of exhaustion, but Akira saw no alternative. Knight offered to handle lesser monsters while Akira saved energy for the big fight, fearing loss of control and harming his master. Akira assured him he'd prevent it, asking for help. Knight transformed into his three-headed form, incinerating monsters with fire breath, rushing through corridors. He began losing control, crashing into walls. Akira told him to regain control, his voice reaching Knight like a vast ocean. He asked Akira to keep calling his name to stay centered. Akira found it sus, but complied. He asked Knight why other species hated demons. Knight cited the first Demon Lord, pushed to a barren continent, becoming a symbol of evil. Most Demon Lords hadn't attacked humans. Centuries ago, someone killed the Demon Lord's wife. A previously chill figure, he became a menace. Akira pitied him, but if he ordered Emilia's kidnapping, he would pay. Knight agreed, reminding Akira not all demons were cruel, some sought peace. Akira vowed to remember. They reached Emilia's location. Akira declared he would take Emilia back, commanding Lee to cast a barrier. Knight reverted to base form. Aurum, impressed by Knight's speed, was ignored. Knight apologized to Akira for his inability to help. Emilia also apologized. Akira told them to relax, drawing daggers. Aurum summoned weapons, predicting Akira's defeat. Knight reminded him of the Demon Lord's order to bring Akira. Aurum countered his orders were only to bring Emilia alive, killing Akira if he interfered. Knight couldn't believe the Demon Lord changed his mind. Akira snuck behind Aurum, attacking. Aurum blocked, counterattacking, slashing Akira's leg. Akira relentlessly attacked, but Aurum treated it as a joke. Injured repeatedly, Aurum decided to end it quickly. Akira declared he would end it, activating shadow magic. Shadows rose from his shed blood, summoning shadow beasts. Aurum struggled, attacked from all sides. While he dealt with the wolves, Akira slashed his arm and leg, disarming him. Exhausted, Akira panicked as Aurum played his flute, summoning more monsters. Their ultimate beams charged. Lee used all her power to create a barrier around Akira, then collapsed. The barrier absorbed the attacks, then reflected them, destroying the monsters. Emilia approached, saying Aurum was weakened. She hid behind Akira. Aurum, disappointed, was disarmed. Akira hesitated to deliver the final blow. Aurum urged him, taunting his inability to kill a defenseless target. Akira wondered how to kill a human-like figure. Aurum's boss teleported in, displeased by Aurum's loss. Akira's group despaired. They couldn't beat a second-grade demon. Knight advised against direct combat. Akira agreed, knowing he couldn't fight at full strength after using shadow magic. He pondered an escape. The demon asked if his name was pronounced as written. Akira realized he was Japanese. The demon Mihiro confirmed, revealing he too was summoned from Earth differently. He declared he would kill Akira and take Emilia. He shot dark energy. Akira dodged, but it hit him from behind. Cornered, Akira charged Mihiro, who pushed him back, firing fatal attacks. Akira used shadow magic to cover targeted areas. Mihiro realized Akira lacked mana for his ultimate move. He prioritized his mission. Knight, having replenished mana, stood. Mihiro questioned Knight's allegiance. Knight affirmed his betrayal of the Demon Lord, proposing a suicide attack. Akira refused. Mahiro, noticing their telepathy, paused. Akira suggested combining their powers. Knight, unable to dissuade him, transformed into Saren. Mahiro attacked. They dodged. Knight summoned a golden hammer using Saren's skills. Mahiro countered with a light barrier. Akira noted the shadows growing darker. He commanded Knight to attack. The hammer shattered. Mahiro created a magic circle, firing lightning bolts. Akira dodged, then coated himself in shadow magic. He attacked, pushing Mahiro back. Knight joined, using Saren's skills. Together, they cornered Mahiro. Akira, thinking of Saren, slashed Mahiro's back. Knight warned his shapeshift would expire. Akira planned the finishing move. Mahiro declared they wouldn't win soon. Akira prepared to prove him wrong when a hand pierced his chest. Amelia. Under Mahiro's control, she realized what she'd done, horrified. Mahiro fell. Hope faded. Amelia apologized. Knight returned to his original form, rushing to Akira. Akira reassured her. It wasn't her fault, but Mahiro's spell. Mahiro confirmed his spell turned anyone into a puppet, unleashing full strength. Akira struggled to stay conscious, vowing to save Amelia, but neared death. Amelia and Knight screamed. Akira died. The system activated, healing him with white shadow magic. Mahiro's attack was blocked. Akira rose, the system entering combat mode. Mahiro attacked with magic blades. Akira used shadow magic to move faster, dealing damage. Mahiro fired more blades. Akira blocked, then bound him with shadow magic. Mahiro realized someone controlled Akira, the system ordering retreat. Mahiro refused, declaring demons superior. The system lectured him on persistence. Mahiro attacked Amelia. Akira shielded her. Crow arrived, shocking Mahiro, who recognized Crow's age. Crow boasted he could still defeat him. Mahiro retreated, creating a teleportation circle. Lee thanked Crow, who said he was bored. Akira asked how he knew Mahiro and Lee. Crow advised rest. Akira passed out. Waking, Amelia was beside him, Knight on his belly. He'd been out for 1 day, 5 hours. Crow entered, Akira thanking him. Crow said Lee returned to the capital. Guests arrived, Sodo, Asahi, Gil. Gil explained his long history with Crow. The hero's party was leveling up, seeking weapons. Asahi emotional, glad to see Akira. Sodo explained Gil freed them from brainwashing by having Asahi cut crystals. Sode thanked Akira for breaking his curse. He was upset Akira left without telling him. Akira cited bad timing but praised Sodo's leadership. They called a meeting. Akira asked Gil if his absence from the capital was acceptable. Gil said the king fired him and disbanded the knights. Asahi urged Akira to join them against the Demon Lord. Knight refused for Akira, calling himself the only partner needed. Asahi told Knight to shut up, offended. Akira calmed them, asking Sodo's plan. Sodo aimed to defeat the Demon Lord. Knight laughed. A girl from Sodo's group got mad. Akira asked Knight for privacy. The cat ran off. Akira asked his friends why they wanted to defeat the Demon Lord. They sought leverage with the king to return home. They needed Akira's strength. Akira rejected their plan, citing the king and princess's control tactics and their use of human sacrifices for summoning. He kept the sacrifice detail secret. His friends asked if he wanted to return home. He affirmed, saddening Amelia. He believed stronger demons could create travel magic circles. He'd visit the demon continent, questioning demons. He refused their help, deeming them too weak, a setback. This upset Amelia, who left. Akira followed. Gil went to talk to Crow. Sodo's group sulked, girls thinking Akira arrogant, boys wanting to prove themselves. Akira found Amelia by the sea, confessing she couldn't imagine life without him. Stabbing him brought guilt, but also happiness. He'd carry her scar. He didn't have words for her. He handed her his dagger, a symbol of his love, cutting his ring finger. Amelia cried, hugging him, confessing her love. He cut her finger too, a promise. Asahi's group sought ways to prove their worth. A rumor of a festival and a competition, where winners disappeared, selling in the black market, gave them an idea. They invited Akira's group to the festival, citing the girl's desire. Amelia asked about food stalls, agreeing to join. At the city, Amelia hoped the beauty contest prize was food. Akira sensed trouble. A demon customer complained about racism. The contest excluded demons. Akira was shocked. Knight recognized the demon laddie. She clung to Akira, asking his help. Amelia separated them. The receptionist shocked Amelia was an elf princess, fast-tracking her registration. Amelia lectured Akira about flirting. Laddie apologized for misunderstanding. She questioned the contest rules excluding demons. Akira intervened, asking Laddie participate, promising to handle her if she misbehaved. Laddie thanked him. The receptionist agreed. Laddie noticed Knight, who introduced himself. Laddie smiled, knowing he'd signed a contract. Akira was surprised they knew each other. Knight promised to explain later. Laddie and Amelia bonded over the festival. Laddie canvassed for votes, signing autographs in the first hero's script, impressing a fan. Akira found her behavior odd. Knight called her weird. Amelia found her not giving bad vibes. Akira thought Amelia was odd too. Girls giggled at Akira. He was known as the silent assassin. Crow confirmed his fame after defeating monsters alone near the dungeon. He was called Dark Assassin, Silent Assassin. Crow presented Akira a yellow tag from the guild, a promotion for heroic actions. Amelia was happy, noting her silver rank, Kilika's gold. Akira's classmates, also yellow rank, offered adventurer tips. Akira was uninterested. Girls called Amelia for snacks. Soto took the boys gambling. Akira told Knight to watch Amelia. Knight cleared a path through the crowd. Akira saw Amelia talking with classmates, wondering about their friendship. Crow explained the 2-day journey allowed bonding. Crow joined them. Akira asked why Crow accompanied them. Crow mentioned his little sister. Akira learned from Amelia and Knight. Crow's lack of revenge wasn't just his sister's wishes, but his age. His strength had vanished. His sister's killer, Graham, was protected. Akira remembered Graham as the kidnapper. Crow explained Graham sold info to demons, thus obtaining rare materials for boosters, expanding his army. Akira realized Graham's threat. He agreed to consider Crow's request. Gil arrived, announcing the contest start. Crow got them VIP seats. Asahi praised the privacy. Akira stared at the stage. Crystal balls offered a closer view. Amelia winked at Akira. Laddie used magic stones for disco lights, introducing herself. Akira asked Knight if she was truly a demon. Results: a tie between Amelia and Laddie. Laddie Loki joined Akira's group, admitting she couldn't beat Amelia. Akira praised her tie. Laddie flirted. Akira rejected her, stating interest only in Amelia. Laddie vowed to win next year. Knight warned her not to attract attention. Her father wouldn't like it. Akira grew suspicious. Knight nervously revealed Laddie was the Demon Lord's daughter. Graham watched Laddie and Amelia, ordering guards to observe Amelia, happy to profit from demon efforts. Akira used World Eye on Laddie, seeing insane stats. Amelia knew Laddie was strong, taunting Akira for not using his World Eye sooner. Laddie had suppressed her mana. Akira hesitated to use World Eye again. Gil arrived, booking rooms. Laddie declined, preferring humans alone. They agreed to meet tomorrow for rewards. Soto won the male beauty contest, promising Amelia food if that was the prize. Asahi noticed Knight missing. Akira sent him on an errand. The boys went to the bath. Amelia asked Akira to join. He refused, citing women's bath rules. Crow reminded Akira of their talk. Amelia pulled Akira away, forcing him to sleep. She confronted Crow, who said they discussed business. Amelia declared she wouldn't let him force Akira. Crow brought up the dungeon fight, asking why Akira failed to finish Aurum. Amelia dismissed it as Crow's business. Crow stated Akira was weak, needing Amelia's saving to mentally prepare for killing. Amelia was shocked. The next morning, Amelia and Laddie, with Soto and others, went for rewards at an abandoned building. Assassins appeared, demanding Amelia, summoned by Graham. Amelia refused, calling him greedy. Assassins moved to take her by force. Amelia pinned them with gravity magic, asking Graham's motive. The assassin lied. Amelia pressed him. He revealed previous winners' organs were sold. Amelia raged, but Laddie hugged her, stopping her. Laddie argued even bad guys have stories. She stood before Amelia, declaring she wouldn't let her kill. Akira, linked to Amelia, saw this. Happy Laddie stopped her. Later, Akira asked Gil about Crow. Gil's mother was Crow's student but went insane. His father was absent. Crow raised him. Crow was his foster father. Gil held no grudge. Akira found Crow caring, having helped many, including Akira. He urged Akira to repay Crow soon. His time was limited. Knight, as a bird, reported Graham's spies tracking beauty pageant winners. Amelia was monitored. Akira felt he needed to decide about Crow's request. He asked Gil about recording devices. Gil called them cameras, a concept from previous heroes replicated with magic. Other hero-introduced elements existed, like the country of Yamato, mirroring Akira's homeland. Amelia and others returned. Akira called a private meeting. Asahi hoped Akira would join their team. Akira asked if they knew about the kidnappings. They were shocked. Akira learned through Knight's investigation. They apologized for hiding the truth, wanting to prove their worth. Akira accepted their intentions and preparedness. He affirmed joining them, sharing their goal but prioritizing differently, Graham's threat to Amelia. Crow said they needed to go to Euro City for Graham, head of the Adventurer Guild there. Asahi offered help. Akira refused, wanting to go alone. Crow offered guidance through the Demon Continent if his request was fulfilled. Gil proposed they head to the Demon Continent's border while Akira dealt with Graham. Crow rejected Asahi's meeting spot idea. His mother lived there. Gil saved the story for later. Crow suggested another spot. Everyone prepared. Akira sought books for the journey. Amelia asked Crow to stop stressing Akira. Crow spoke of business, calling Akira Snowflake. Amelia insisted, wanting to train to avoid being a burden. Crow agreed, impressed by her determination. Akira departed with Amelia and Crow. Crow taught Amelia in the carriage. She fell asleep. Akira asked if Crow was too harsh. Crow replied Amelia was talented, inspired by legends of her creating revival spells. He named a child Lee after her. Akira realized Crow meant Lee, confirming it. He asked why Crow treated Amelia coldly despite respect. Crow said she wasn't impressive initially but now kept up. He mentioned a hero's spell to copy-cancel enemy spells, requiring ancient language mastery. Amelia was creating a new skill to understand it. Crow praised her progress. Beastman lived twice as long. Crow's mother's potion doubled his lifespan. He lamented his long life brought no use. Revenge for his sister was his only goal. Knight on recon met Lati wandering aimlessly. Hearing of his investigation, she offered help. Akira's group reached Euro City. Crow arranged lodging, asking Akira to sightsee with Amelia. Crow summoned Lee, who would meet them at the central fountain. Akira and Amelia planned a date. They ate, shared cute moments, then Lee arrived, escorting them to the royal palace for lunch with the king welcoming Amelia. Akira thanked Lee for saving them, asking if her barrier inversion skill was based on Crow's. Lee, flustered, explained hers was simpler, shatterable. Crow's was instant, uncounterable. She based hers on his. Akira mentioned Amelia learning from Crow, suggesting Lee give tips. Lee freaked out, shocked Crow was teaching Amelia inversion. She called Akira impressive, like Crow. He couldn't explain his lack of control. They reached the throne room. The Beastfolk King welcomed Amelia, thanking her for saving his adopted daughter. Amelia credited Crow and Akira. The king turned to Akira, offering an assassination job, kill Graham, head of the Adventurer Guild, who caused chaos. Akira refused, calling it the king's problem. The king offered protection. Akira refused, stronger than him. The Royal Knight Commander challenged Akira's strength. Amelia prepared to fight. Akira stopped her, suggesting Akira prove himself. The centaur agreed, dueling Akira. Akira threw twin blades, angering the centaur. The centaur attacked, throwing rocks. Akira dodged, tied his hind leg, then dodged an axe, leaped, and disarmed him, winning instantly. The king was impressed. Amelia told him never to order Akira around. The king asked Amelia if she was stupid loving a human with a shorter lifespan. Her gloominess persisted. Akira noticed, asking if she was all right. She replied she was happy with him, finding him amazing. He thanked her for choosing him. She hugged him, crying, saying she'd die with him. They reached Crow's booked hotel. Amelia suggested romping before dinner. Akira refused, wanting to read. Crow mentioned a man with similar hunger for knowledge, known as the Sage, Saren. Akira was stunned, owing Saren much, vowing revenge. Crow said he could hasten it by accepting his request, assassinate Graham, revealed as the one who hired Saren's assassins. This shocked Akira. He seriously considered killing Graham. Crow offered benefits, free weapon repair, keeping the guiding ring, no repayment for saving them. Amelia rudely asked Crow to withdraw the request. Akira signaled her to stop, stating it was his decision. He'd punish Graham if he killed Saren and now targeted Amelia. Crow confirmed the king hired Graham. Amelia dismissed it. Crow detailed Graham's guards, enhanced by magic drugs, making them demon-level, brainwashed. Graham created an army dangerous and growing. Akira realized the threat. He left to think. Amelia followed, concerned. Crow felt Akira's decision would cause pain. The next morning, Akira met Graham, appearing tense. Lee apologized for her father's request. Akira reassured her. Lee apologized again for her father asking Akira to do his dirty work. Crow was curious. Akira confirmed he refused. Crow explained the king needed a disposable pawn like Akira, fearing public exposure of Graham's deeds. Lee apologized, mentioning her father insulted Amelia. Akira reacted slightly. Amelia dismissed it. Lee offered a tour. Crow insisted they accepted. Crow joined them. Guiding them through hidden city parts, Lee thanked Crow for his support. Amelia noticed, asking them to go alone for privacy. Crow understood. Akira asked Amelia why. Lee liked Crow, she supported her. Akira was shocked by the age gap. Amelia dismissed it. She took him to a bridge, asking him to refuse Crow's request. They could go to the demon realm without him. She repeated Laddie's words about villains' stories. Laddie followed Knight on recon. He couldn't believe she wasn't bored. Laddie would do anything to avoid her father. Knight learned her father, the demon lord, didn't exempt her from world laws. She saw an inn, entered despite Knight's warning. She ordered bread, talking to the receptionist, posing as an adventurer testing her luck. The receptionist warned of dangerous high-paying jobs, mentioning demons. Laddie wasn't concerned. He suggested transporting goods to the human kingdom, less pay but safer. Guildmaster used adventurers instead of companies, possibly due to shadiness. Laddie left, asking Knight's opinion on her info gathering. He was impressed, believing she planned it, getting valuable info on Guildmaster Graham. He noted her autograph on the wall. In the city, Akira told Amelia Laddie's words were wise but wouldn't stop him. He needed revenge for Saren, even before meeting her, and needed to kill Graham for her safety. Amelia assured him she was getting stronger, but he wasn't convinced. He stated refusing Crow's request meant a slow death, lacking revenge. He ended his rant, continuing the trip. Crow led Lee out of the city to a field of red spider lilies. Lee asked where they were going. Crow said she'd know when they arrived. Lee pouted, asking not to be treated like a child. Crow said he wouldn't risk destroying her mind teaching inversion. They arrived. Lee was excited seeing them for the first time. Crow held her hand, warning the flowers were poisonous. He mentioned Akira saying lilies represented death, afterlife, beauty. Lee was moved, asking why he brought her. Crow said he found them and wanted to show someone. Lee suggested confessing love here. Crow scoffed, believing happiness impossible since desiring revenge. His only goal was ruining Graham's life. Lee felt hurt. Soto's group headed towards the Demon Continent border, hunting a bear for food. Gil set up alarms. Soto and Asahi rested, discussing Gil's helpfulness like Saren would have been. Soto brought up Akira, believing he needed no help. He disliked Akira even on Earth for ignoring him. Asahi teased him about not being registered in Akira's brain. Soto accepted Akira's disinterest and strength. They heroes were only slightly stronger than locals. Akira was different, strong, and decisive. Soto wanted such conviction someday. In Euro, Akira and Amelia waited for Crow and Lee. Amelia asked if Akira would accept the assassination mission. He affirmed, citing many reasons. Amelia wouldn't stop him but saw his doubt. He asked if she'd hate him if he killed Graham. She replied never but wanted him to love himself, not regret his decision. Their conversation was interrupted by a girl tantruming at a jewelry stall, reminding Akira of his sister, Yui, who refused to leave their childhood home after his dad vanished. They moved to a cheaper apartment. Yui complained it was small. Akira said it was perfect for 3. He burnt lunch, but it was still good. They took turns cooking, sticking together. He felt relieved his family hadn't lost everything. He came out of the flashback. Amelia asked what he was thinking. He said nothing, but reasoned his hesitation to kill Graham related to his family. Returning home, a murderer would mean no right to stay with them. The video ends here. Thanks for watching.